Hi, grace and peace. This is Reverend June Jeffries from He That Hath an Ear Ministries, and I am way too excited to be with you today. You have probably already noticed that there has been a change in my venue. We are out today in Shinley Park, and I'll tell you why, because we have a guest that came all the way from the city of Baltimore, and he was so gracious that as he was departing our dear city, he would give me time to interview him up here in Shinley Park. So I want you all to help me welcome Brother Curtis is in the house. Brother Curtis, what's up? We got Brother Curtis up here on, I don't know, this ain't Flagstaff Hill. I don't know what this hill is called, but we right up here at Shinley Park. And again, I want to thank Brother Curtis, and I want to thank his manager for taking the time out while he has been a blessing to the city of Pittsburgh this weekend, but he stopped to spend a few minutes with us on our show because we are still continuing in this endeavor to give a platform and a voice to talented, gifted, anointed people that are doing the thing. And so I want you all to just sit back and enjoy this interview today as we enjoy this beautiful day out in the wild of it. Before we start with the interview with Brother Curtis, as always, I want to go back to the foundation upon which we stand, because if you're not standing on the solid rock, the Bible says all other ground is sinking sand. And so as we have been continuing in this endeavor that they have not all bowed down, in the book of Daniel, we know the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Three very talented, anointed, teachable young men. The Bible says they were even good looking, and so much so that the king desired to have them as a part of his kingdom. But the story goes on that because they knew who they were, because they knew the God of their faith, they made a very conscious and deliberate decision not to eat the king's food, not to drink the king's wine, and not to be a part of the king's kingdom. When we look at that king against the society today, we're talking about the kings of this world, the kings that sell us out to maybe thinking we should be rich, or maybe we should be thinking we should have 100 women and 100 kids and all kind of crazy stuff. But we come today to stand upon the word of God that says when you know who you are and you know whose you are and you stand upon that, that you make a decision that I won't sell myself and I won't give my talents and my giftings over to the king of this world. And so again, in our topic, they have not all bowed down. We want to talk to Brother Curtis today. Again, one of our friends from up the river, up there in Baltimore. I told him I ain't gonna mess with him too much about the Baltimore until we get to the end of the show. Because I want him to share with you and encourage you in his journey, because I know there's a whole lot of our young people out there rapping, men and women out there rapping for the kingdom, or not even, it don't even have to be a Christian rapping thing, but just doing a positive thing. I'm not trying to put you in a box that says if it ain't for the church, it don't count, but I'm just saying that positive things for positive people create a positive climate. And so, Brother Curtis, welcome to the city of Pittsburgh. I know, we're glad you're here. Now, you're going to have to use your outside voice, because we don't have the loud speakers and systems and things, so you got to holler at me.
Thanks.
Let's talk about your life, Brother Curtis. When I read your bio, and Brother Curtis is contactable at curtisrock.com.
Curtis Rock on tour.
Curtis Rock on tour. Curtis Rock on tour. This is part of his tour. When he pull up his bio, he gonna say, and I rolled through the wonderful city of Pittsburgh. We got a beautiful backdrop. This ain't even artificial. This is the real deal. And so we want to celebrate him coming to Pittsburgh. He spent some time this weekend at the Strand and Horn Theater, just blessing the people and spreading the gifts around. But I want you to go back, and because with every great journey, there is a step, the first step. In your bio, you talked about it was around about the age of 15 that you felt yourself talented and anointed in music. So using your big voice, help us out. Talk to us about the journey.
Well, at the age of 15, I used to be one of those home beating and banging on the floor. Like anything, whether it was utensils, sticks, pencils, crayons, anything I could get my hands on in the house, I would use it to beat and bang on the floor. And I used to always have my mom fussing and yell at me like, stop beating and banging on the floor with my spoons, forks, and knives and all that other stuff. So then I took away from using those items and I went to using coins. Like, what you want to say, coins, nickels, quarters, any coins I could find. And I used to just beat and bang on the table, beat and bang on glasses, cups, and all that other stuff. So that's what got me into like the rhythm of music. That's what got me into
You was dropping coins and making a beat.
Yeah.
Boy, you lucky your mother didn't tear you. Right, tearing up her hardwood floor.
Yeah, tearing it up. It actually was really hardwood floors.
The real hardwood floor. That's what I'm talking about.
You walk across the floor, you get splinters in your foot. You get splinters in your leg. Like you fall, you be like, "Hey man, I got a splinter."
I got a splinter.
Yeah. So that was the real deal, man. The floors they got now is like
laminate.
Yeah.
They counterfeit. So at 15, and I like that. I shared with you a little bit. I like that because 15 is oftentimes an age where a young man or a young woman, even just going through your body, the changes of your body, the changes of your mind, trying to identify with who you are, where you belong. And that's a very critical age for young people because unless they get a direction, they're going to take a direction.
Right.
And so it's at that point you said that is that when you turned, you were starting off, you found out you were talented. What happened?
I found out I was talented. So then I got with one of my friends and we started playing around with like different stereo systems. Like I don't know if people familiar with the old beatbox with the 2 cassette players, the one at the top and one at the bottom. And we used to play like the music through the top cassette and record our voices through that particular radio. So I used to beat and bang on the table and beat and bang on whatever I could beat and bang on. And I used to have my friend freestyle to whatever I created.
That's cool. I don't think I remember the double cassette. I thought you was going to say an 8-track.
No, it wasn't no 8-track. It wasn't no 8-track.
Don't do it.
No,
don't throw the old
8-track.
people off the bus. I like the fact that you started using, though, because this is one of the key components to developing a climate of creativity. It's called use what you got.
Yes.
People think they got to have the best of everything.
Oh, yeah.
No, you got to use what you got. So even when you was using the spoons and things, you was using what was available. Dropping coins, use what available. And now, I'm sure a double cassette don't count as a recording studio, but you used what was available.
We used to take speakers and rip them out the speaker console area and like run wires through the speakers and create our own microphone.
I like that. Y'all listening to this?
Microphone. We used
Just don't blow the house up.
Yeah, we used to like cut. I used to get that wire cutter and cut wires.
I remember my brother doing stuff like that.
And reconnect them together and running through the little. And we used to do it right out in my basement, running through the little ceiling, create little holes and drop it down.
Wow.
We never had like a mouth cover piece that they use in the studio. We used to sing right into the speaker. I used to be the little engineer. Only thing I had to do is hit record. That's it.
And he was the man.
Yeah, just hit record, and my friend just
rolled with it.
And he just rolled with it. And then if he messed up, we'd take it all the way back and start it back.
God bless you. I like it though. I like it because this generation is so materialistic. But even today, I look at some of the videos that people can make. You can take an iPhone and make a video and put it on YouTube and be a million hits because if you take the time and the talent that is invested, and that's what I like about it. I like the fact that you used what you had to do what you needed to do. Now in that journey though, we know real life, sometimes it's high and sometimes it's low. What were some of your highs and lows that you remember in this journey that even before you got to this point?
First, I'm going to start with the lows. The lows was when you had people that like, oh, you can't do this.
Okay.
You can't do that. I don't think you can do this and you can do that. That would like discourage you from what you want to do and what you believe you can do and what you think you can do. And then you have people when it comes from friends, family members, or outside people. Those people will try to discourage you from pursuing your dream, pursuing your gift that God has blessed you with. So then you had to find another avenue to go around to get around that. And my avenue with that was not to pay attention to those type of people. Just to stay focused, just strive to stick to what I know and go after what I know.
Amen.
And that's it. And my mom used to always tell me, stop paying attention to what people do. Say to you, stop paying attention to what people do. Worry about what you do. So what I did with that is I took that, I ran with it.
Amen.
To this day, you still have people to tell you, you can't do this, you can't do
Right.
that.
Right.
I used to have my own sister tell me, oh, you can't rap, or you can't create music, you can't create that. So, coming to find out, when I had the album release, she was all into it. She was like, you know what? I did not know you was into it. I did not know you had all that into you. So my highs is going into the higher part is when you actually reach people and people come back to you, hey man, that song really blessed me.
Amen.
That song really helped me out. That song really resetted me and like put me back on track.
Amen.
From what I need to do and what I got to do. So even the favorite song that everybody keep talking to me about is Vanity. Everybody like Vanity because everybody can relate to Vanity.
Amen.
People can relate to the song My Bad because my bad represents my bad.
Right.
People can relate to the song Reppin'. If I play Reppin' and people listen to the words, they actually, I like to play a lot of word. I like to use a lot of wordplay in my music.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily about rhyming.
Right.
It's not necessarily about just making sure you say the correct word. As long as you're talking about something that makes sense and people can relate to what you're talking about.
Okay.
And they understand what you're talking about. And as long as you're painting a picture for those particular people. So those are my highs. My highs are when people walk up to me and say, yo man, you're rocking. I like that. I like your inspiration.
I like that.
Your music is catchy. The famous word that stays to me and that stick out to me the most is the word catchy. When people always say your music is catchy, and I'm like, I can't deal with you. I can't. I'm like your music. I don't. And then some people may, did you say this in your song? Yes, I said that in my song,
right.
And I would have to explain to them what I said and why I said it.
Okay.
So, and some people come to me, it's very inspirational. Some people need that uplifting because it brings them up from their lows into their highs.
Right.
So my thing is, I'm not that type of rapper that go around shunning everybody and like, oh, you wrong for this, you wrong for that. Because people did it to me.
Right.
So my advice to people is like, go for what you know. That is my high.
I love that. That man got something to say. Y'all listening to Brother Curtis. Brother Curtis got something to say. And I ain't mad at nobody that got something to say. If you got something to say, say it. If you ain't got nothing to say, hush. You up my street now. I'm a preacher. You got to preach something that makes a change in people's life. We don't preach to entertain. We preach to change.
Exactly.
We preach to change. Who do you consider as some of the role models? I mean, you're a young man. I didn't ask you how old you is, and you don't have to tell. But you're a young man. So who in your era were you some of your role models or people that you found yourself drawing from? Because I'm going to use this, don't take this wrong, every cow got to eat.
Yeah.
So in order to make good milk, you got to eat good grass. Whose venues did you enjoy?
When I first started out, I started out doing secular music, where you had the hip hop and the rap and all of that stuff. I wasn't never the rap type of guy. I was never the freestyle type of guy. For me, it was the main people I focused on was like Ludacris, T.I., Young Jeezy, Jay-Z, and all those other, Kanye West and all those other guys. And when I got away from those guys, I kind of like transferred over to the Christian era when I started looking up to The Truth, Lecrae, Molly Music, Toby Mac, Kurt Franklin. It's a lot of guys. Even when it comes down to the female rap artists, you have a lot of female rap artists. I don't know their names per se, but it's a lot of, I know them when I hear them.
Okay.
What's the girl named Karen Clark's daughter?
Right, Kiki.
Kiki. She's a good singer. It's a lot of them. Marvin Sapp. Derek. I forgot the other guy's name. Derek something. I forgot his name. This is a young Christian rapper, but he's also a singer as well. But coming from secular music and going into the Christian era, it's totally different because secular music puts you in that mindset. If you have a weak mind, that music is going to control you. If you have a weak mind.
Yeah.
So with listening to those guys kind of like inspired me to write truth. Listen to Ludacris.
But not their truth.
And not their truth.
Right, right.
So what I do is I take from what I know, what I learned from those guys, and I take it in and turn it into my brand of music.
Right.
And then when I listen to the Christian rap guys, I say, okay, this is what these guys are talking about.
Right.
So then when I listen to these guys and compare these guys, I know I'm not supposed to compare artists or individuals, whatever. So I take secular music, Christian rap music. And then if you could take both of those avenues and combine them together, it'd be an awesome explosion.
Powerful, right.
It'd be an awesome explosion.
Right.
It's just imagine if you take Ludacris, T.I., Jay-Z, and Kanye West and had them turn into Christian rap.
Right. You better holler, son.
You know how much impact there is.
You better holler. You better holler.
Impact now getting the young people.
Right.
But just imagine if they
people
convert over.
People are listening to him. Right.
Right. Just imagine if they convert over.
Right.
So when
let's work on that.
Yeah. So when you listen to like Lecrae he's a good artist. I like Lecrae. I never was a Lecrae fan at the beginning, but I remember his first album, I think Rehab, if I'm not mistaken. So when I listened to his album, I was like, okay, he's okay. Then I went to listen to his other stuff, and I was like, oh, he was on point. He's okay. And then I actually started listening to The Truth. I started listening to The Truth probably like 2, 3, 4 years ago, and I didn't listen to him until he came to Baltimore when my church do a week concert, and he came there and he did a few songs. I was like, oh, The Truth, right? And I used this line with him after he got finished performing when I talked to him and took a picture with him, and I said, dude, don't ever forget you speaking the truth. You just always speak the truth and say it with your chest. I said, he was like, you know what, I'm going to use that. He was like, I'm going to use that. And he just stole it and ran off. He done got famous off your thunder. I just say it with your chest. Right. When you speak truth, say it with your chest. Right. And stand strong about it. That's why it's truth. Yeah, that's why, and that's what I go by. I like this, when I say stuff, it's coming from the heart. It's coming from the chest. It's not necessarily always coming from the mind. Everything I say is coming from the heart, because it's pouring out from the heart. And then that's when the mind comes in and, add everything else to it.
Now, I like the fact that you are standing in between those two worlds, which is what we need. Somebody got to reach each direction. I came around. I remember when the saints at the church I was at said they couldn't believe mime, and they said, "Oh no, these young people got no business dancing in Jesus' house." Mm-hmm. You better learn how to dance in Jesus' house. So, like you said, though, there's a venue out there. But you're making that step, and we may not ever get those rappers that you spoke about. They may never come over. But again, I go back to the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. It wasn't necessary for those other, because they had gathered young men from all over the kingdom. It was not necessary for all of them to make a stance, but it was necessary for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And the power of God says 1,000 will fall at your right hand and 10,000 at your left, but it shall not come nigh thee. So there's such a great power of multiplication when you move in the spirit of things, because God is always with us, and he's the God of increase. So I thank God for your boldness, because I know this generation, this world is looking for this. They're looking to get paid. Everybody want to get paid. But you obviously came to the understanding that the real reward is in doing what is right, and not is what is pays most, but what is it that you can sleep with at night, and then what is it that you can live with and die with, because that's the consequences at the end of every man. Now let me get a few more questions in here before I lose my thought and start messing with that Steelers and that Brown thing. We talked about, now you're a man of faith. What church are you at?
Crown of Glory Ministries.
Shout your pastor out of Holland.
Apostle Donald and Prophetess Judy Pierce.
From Baltimore? Is it Baltimore?
Maryland. Randallstown, Maryland.
Randallstown.
Yes,
I think I got some people down in there. I'm going to have to do a background check on him to make sure he really show up at church and don't just be trying to perpetrate a church goer. People be talking, what the name of my church is? Wait a minute, I'm going to get my preacher name in 1 minute. Got to find a bulletin from 30 years ago so they can shout out their pastor. But I really, as a female, as a pastor, as an African American, we talked about just real briefly that we're in a culture now where we have to say with our mouths, Black Lives Matter. And then we got to say it with our lives. You just can't tell people I am somebody, but you ain't acting like nobody. If Black Lives Matter, then make Black Lives Matter. Not just in word, but in word and in deed. And so I really do celebrate, especially our males. I am not sexist or anything of that nature, but I really do know the power of a male. I know what it means to have one, and I know what it does to not have one in the culture, the climate, the home, the church. None of these social systems were ever created to be led by women. I know that. However, I also know that sin came in, and the original plan had gotten thwarted because the adversary came in by sin, and now everything has fallen. But the restored state will put things back in order. God first, obviously, men and women and children and the families and all that will be set back in order. But I appreciate you taking that boldness, because, again, I commend young men who step across the street and probably you would make more. You'd be more famous or something if that's such a thing. Oh my God,
I
famous.
ain't really pressed for the
We
fame.
ain't pressed. Don't listen. The cost of fame is way too high. It's way too high. We think we want it till we find out what it really costs.
Exactly.
But you're doing the right thing. We are going to be able to listen to some of your music. We're going to be able to see some of your video that you had made just while you were even in our city. So we celebrate that you came in through Pittsburgh and took a time out to stop and shout us out. Now, I always want to ask, what's your purpose? Where do you want to go with this? And I don't want you to get nervous. Young people say, you burning bread on me. I ain't burning bread on you. But at some point, we all have to lay down our lives and die. I know it sounds, horrific, but it's the truth. I look at my life and I think of myself as a seed, and I say, when I am planted, what will grow? And so I throw that question over to you. If you think of yourself as a seed and you are working to do all these different things and to have these different effects, when you are planted, what is your expectation that you hope will grow?
Truth.
Truth.
That's it. The only thing I want people to understand is truth. If you can understand truth, then you should be able to accept truth and realness. A lot of people can't handle realness. A lot of people can't handle the truth. So when I want to plant my seed, I want to instill in people to speak the truth. Whether people like it or not, just be real with them. I had 3 things I stick to. You want me to be phony, fake, or you want me to be real?
Okay.
If you want me to be phony and you want me to be fake, then I can't be your friend.
Okay.
I have to be real.
It costs too much.
It costs too much. So my thing with that is I gotta be real, and I gotta be truthful. So a lot of people be like, they'll shun you away when you start speaking truth, and they shun you away when you start speaking real things into their life, real things into existence. My thing is with that is, I want to be real with people all across the globe, all across the nation. Just speak truth. And you should, over the years, you grow up from a black young boy to a black teenager, to a black young guy, to a grown adult, to an old guy, whereas though they put us in this culture. They put us in this society where as though they think black people can't proceed or they can't progress. We need the government to survive.
Right.
And they think black people can't step out and do their things. Some people may try to say, oh, well, hey, I can do this for you and I can do that for you. You can say what you want out your mouth, but are your actions going to actually show it? I like this. Just my whole foundation is being around truth. If God is going to be truthful to me, I got to be truthful to his people. If God going to be real to me, I got to be real with his people. So with that said, my foundation is just to be truthful and real with people, whether they like it or not. I don't care if they get mad.
Right.
I don't care if they say I hurt their feelings sometimes.
If it's true.
If it's true.
Right.
So some people, they be like, man, how you want? Some people, when you be real with people, you be truthful to them, they take it in as judging and criticizing.
Right.
So when you look at that, and you sit back and you're like, I wasn't trying to go at it that route, but since you took it that route, we need to address that route.
Right.
So
is it true?
I
call it sin. Oh,
right.
you judging me? Is it true?
Right.
Did you lie? Lying is sin. Did you steal? Stealing is sin. Why are you mad at me?
I'm not the perfect guy.
Right.
I said it in one of my songs. I'm not the perfect little guy. I'm not the perfect little saint. I'm just a Christian that's trying to get it right, and I stand behind those. I'm not walking around like I'm perfect. I'm not walking around like I'm better than anybody. I'm still that same little Christian that's struggling just like everybody else. Whether I'm struggling in sin, whether I'm struggling in wrongdoing, whether I'm struggling in finances, whether I'm struggling in anything.
That's real.
I'm still trying to get it right.
Right.
Until I get it right, God will let me know that I have got it right. And I guess when I reach them gates of heaven, He will let me know that
and not until then, but you can work on it.
So I would want my name to go down in the book and saying that, hey, I got these people by speaking truth and being real with them. That's where I'm at with that. I don't want to be phony. I don't want to be fake. So that's why. And some people ask me, what made you come up with the name Curtis Rock? Curtis is my last name. So rock. So if I rock with you, I rock with you, and I'm gonna rock and give you the truth and nothing but the truth.
And standing on the rock while we rock.
Exactly.
Upon this rock. I'm gonna be a dancer upon this rock.
But that's where I stand as far as my seed. It's all about truth and being real. And that's about
Well,
it.
and again, when you talk about truth, and here's the thing: when you talk about truth, everybody has different perceptions of truth. The perception of truth, though, is not the same as truth.
Exactly.
Because, like you said, if I tell you truth, you call it judgment, you call it condemnation, you call it offense, you call it criticizing, whatever. But truth stands independent of all those other things. Truth never has an agenda. Truth never has a motive. Truth is self-sustaining. Truth is self-fulfilling. Truth has no hidden purpose. It simply is because it is. And Christ said that I am the way, the truth, and the life. He did not come with any hidden agenda or any hidden motive. He came to establish truth in a world that was trying to establish its own truth, which is self-righteousness. And that's what we do. We try to establish our own truth and say, well, I ain't no worse than them. I ain't as bad as them. I ain't the only one. It has nothing to do with the truth. Let's deal with truth, where truth lives. So I'm with you with that. I like that.
But with that, like a lot of people, I guess, growing up as a young kid, when you see a lot of things in your life that happen, and like everyone, I don't know if I'm the only person. I'm sure everyone else went through this. Whereas though you look at it like, okay, we all been lied to growing up as a kid. Okay, mom might have told us this, and dad might have told us that, whatever. So what they tell us is what we believe. But as we get older, we realize, dude, hold up. Mom and dad lied to us years ago. Like, what's going on? And then we try to bring everything to reality, and then when we become adults, we're like, dude, I can't believe mom and dad was lying to me all these years. So when you get older, you be like, yo, I can't lie to my kids now. I can't lie to my wife now. I can't lie to my girlfriend now. I can't lie to anybody now. So I can't keep telling people the same thing I was told back then, when I was a little him or a little whatever.
Christopher Columbus did not discover America. The Indians was already here. It was an established doctrine in our school system. We were taught Christopher Columbus discovered America. But it wasn't until somebody said, but hold up. How do you discover something that somebody already occupied? But they were our teachers, and they were our instructors, and they was the grown-ups, and we thought they must be telling the truth. But when we grew up and found out using our own brain, it was not truth. So I'm on your street. I like that. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I really do. Even though we're going to have a fight in about 5 minutes, I appreciate that we at least got along long enough to get along. When my young children, I have 3 children, and when they were in school, that was one of the things I tried to instill in them, that when you tell the truth, I can defend it. I can't defend a lie. And if you telling the truth, and you call me, you better know that I'm coming in. And when I come in, I'm like one of them mothers. I can look at you and tell if you lying. So don't call me in and you lying, because I'm going to bust you down straight up right here in front of these teachers and things. So if my children ever called me and said, I didn't do it, I didn't say it, that was not what happened, because I had taught them the strength of truth. Truth does not move up against our likes or dislikes of it. It doesn't budge. In fact, I do a little thing I have about truth being that solid foundation upon which you can lean. If you can stay there long enough, even when it brings a judgment against you, but if you can lean on it long enough until you draw your strength, truth will convert you to hope. Because if you can hope for something, then you can be something. But the truth won't move because you don't like it. It'll stand right there until you face to face whatever the issue is, until you can realize that in the strength of the truth is deliverance. And the strength of the truth is healing. If I can embrace the fact that I was jacked up because that's the truth, then at least if I stay there long enough to say, daggone, I don't want to be jacked up. If the truth is I'm jacked up and I come to the reality that I'm jacked up, it gives me a place now to say, do I choose to remain jacked up? And the answer is no, sir, I don't. So I like that. You the man, Curtis. You the man. You the man.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you being here. We have talked about the journey. We've talked about who influenced you. We talked about how faith has been a conduit in that. We talked about your platform. I like the fact of what you hope to accomplish by being a young man, Christian rapper, making a difference, making an influence, having something to say, saying something, meaning what you say, not just looking for crowd pleasers, but looking for the truth, which is only found truly in Christ Jesus. The world has all kinds of truths, but the only truth that will stand through time is the truth of God, the only truth of the word that does not change. And so I always want to give our guests an opportunity, just if somebody's watching today, and I can say that we have some very talented young men, young women, rappers, and I like the fact you writing your own music. Take control, people. Take control.
You know, one thing my engineer told me, he told me this. He said, "You're about the only rapper I know that can write his own lyrics and create his own soundtrack."
Say it again.
You're about the only rapper I know that can create his own lyrics and create his own soundtrack. And then let alone rearrange everything all together. When I go to the studio, everything is already put together. I tell her, all right, this is what we're doing.
Here we're going to do it.
This is how we're going to do it. He be like, okay, whatever you
Follow
want.
Curtis.
Yeah, and then like certain songs I have his signature. I always say rock is in the building. So if it's a hard song, he like it, and I may walk away from the mic, he be like, no, you gotta go back and put your stamp on that, man. So I stick with that. I love my engineer. I think he's about the best engineer I ever worked with. Shout out to Matt.
Hey man.
He's the Right Way Studios. Those guys are awesome. I dealt with plenty of engineers over the years. Even when I went from secular music and beating and banging on the table to the actual studio and the actual keyboard. I actually went out and brought my own keyboard. My mom couldn't do it.
I ain't mad at you.
Yeah, my mom couldn't do it. So when I got older, I went out and brought my own. I worked 2 jobs. I went and brought my own keyboard. Spent about $3 grand for the keyboard.
If it's important to you, you got to invest into it.
Invest into it. Nobody invested in me except myself.
And God.
Amen. God is first because he invested a gift first.
Amen. And that's what when I was getting ready to say, when you talk about those innate abilities to do things that you have not been taught, the things that came from up in you that you thought, I don't know where I mean, certainly we didn't go down some shopping list before we came into the world and say, well, give me this and give me that, and I'll take about 5-pound bag of that. We are who God has created us to be, and in us he has knit gifts. And if you go through this life and those gifts regurgitate and come back up and be glorified, if you give them back to the one that gave them back to you, he'll always bless them.
Yeah.
And that is the hope of all mankind, that I could be a blessing back to the one who blessed me with life and gifts.
Yep.
So I ain't mad at you. So Curtis, give me a shout out to the young people that are watching that might be on the journey. And I like the fact when you even talked about everybody ain't going to encourage you. Everybody ain't going to sign you as the guy. But you got to be able to encourage yourself or find a way to get through those choppy waters and not abandon the ship. But shout out, give me 60-second shout out to the young people that are watching and to the older people, parents and grandparents and church families that say these things. You watch your mouth. In life, in the mouth is the power of life and death. So watch your words. But let's speak a shout out to those that might be watching that need to be encouraged.
My encouragement to those guys, no matter what you want to do in life, no matter if you want to become a doctor, lawyer, teacher, an artist, or artist, or a producer, or anybody, pursue that dream. If it's in you, pursue it. There are going to be some discouragements along the way. A lot of people are going to shun you away. A lot of people are not going to have faith and hope and whatever. But my main focus I stay on is faith, hope, and love. As long as I got faith, I'm all right. As long as I got hope, I'm all right. As long as I got love and God is showing his love upon me through all 3 things, faith, hope, and love, I'm all right. I'm good. I'm not, you people may go through the struggle worrying about, oh, how I'm going to pay for this? How I'm going to pay for studio time? How I'm going to pay for my art equipment? How I'm going to pay for this? How I'm going to pay for that? Go to God and pray and watch what he do for you.
Open up the windows of heaven.
Somebody might come by and bless you with a $500 check.
It happens all the time, my brother.
Somebody might slip me a little, hey dude, take this, take that. So my encouragement to everybody, whether you're a drug dealer, corner, whatever you do, find that gift, find that talent. Nobody else is going to give you that talent or that gift. Can't nobody say, hey, I want you to do this.
Right.
I want you to do that.
Right.
All gifts and talent come from God. That's
right.
it.
Every good and perfect gift.
Everything comes from God. So we gotta take that and run with it. So my encouragement to everybody is take that gift, take that talent, and pursue God and run with it. That's it. That's it.
We got it. Okay.
Let's go. I'm rapping God's name. He's my heart of fame. He's my heart of fame. God is his name. He's the father of the world. Y'all know his name. He's the father of all things. Through Christ pushing, I gotta keep repping the name of God. Yeah, I did it and I admit it. I'm willing to talk about it to Christ that strengthens me to clean up my life and make a full-fledged decision and make a difference in my life. Yeah, now I gotta stay focused, focus on my dream, I focus on my talent. Yeah, so forget about my past, my dirty little secrets, my dirty little habits, my dirty little lingerie. Now I'm cleansed by the blood that washed me. Now I'm cleansed by the blood that saved me. It's a brighter day, a brighter way, a new life, a new way. What a brighter day in a new way. So when they ask me, I tell them this: what you rapping, what you rapping, what you rapping, what? What you rapping, what you rapping, what you rapping, what? I'm rapping God's name, He's my heart of fame, He's my heart of fame. God is His name, He's the Father of the world, y'all know His name. He's the Father of all things, through Christ that strengthens me to the point of no return. I'm a past life, I'm a past sins, yeah. So I gotta stay focused, I gotta keep pushing, I gotta keep rapping the name of God. See, when there's consistency in the air, then there's healing everywhere and deliverance on the way. Hey, God's got a plan, His plan gotta work if we sit back and listen. Ayo. See, it's funny how people will consider honesty as a virtue, but no one wants to hear the truth. Woo! I can plant a little seed and plant a little truth, but no one wants to hear the truth. Ayo. But the truth really hurts from the bottom of the barrel, and no one wants to hear the truth. Yeah, so the tables keep turning, and now you think I'm table talking. So hear me out when the rap. I'm not ashamed to rap God and rap Jesus. I'm not ashamed to rap God and rap Jesus. See, I can turn you down and I can let you down, and you can turn me down and you can let me down. Let's go. I'm rapping God's name. He's my heart of fame. He's my heart of fame. God is His name. He's the Father of the world. Y'all know His name. He's the Father of all things. Through Christ that strengthens me to the point of no return. I'm a past life. I'm a past sins. Yeah. So I gotta stay focused. I gotta keep pushing. I gotta keep rapping the name of God. Yeah. Something new. Where we at? Let's go.
Cause I'm a chosen vessel, and I'm a child of God, so I gotta keep pressing. No need to keep stressing over the little bitty things that goes on in this world. What people do and they talk about. I'm one of God's vessels. Please, 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 please.
I'm a chosen vessel. I'm a chosen vessel.
I know you mad cause I started from the bottom of the vessel. At a young age, you didn't expect this to happen. I done started my own thing and I'm still standing with God, cause I'm a child of God. By faith, I believe it and I can see it. I'm blessed on many levels, blessed and highly favored. God bless you. Somebody call a doctor quick, cause this world is running sick with so many hypocrites. And I ain't talking about the saints that keep pressing for God, they want more of Him. I'm talking about the pulpit pimps that's ripping and robbing the saints. Are you serious? Woo! That's hypocritical. I thought you knew the difference between me and you. I gotta give them truth and I ain't judging you. So I gotta keep pressing, I gotta keep pushing, I gotta keep repping for God. Cause I'm a chosen vessel, and I'm a child of God, so I gotta keep pressing. No need to keep stressing over the little bitty things that goes on in this world. What people do and they talk about. I'm one of God's vessels. Please, 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 please.
I'm a chosen vessel. I'm a chosen
Listen
vessel.
up. Even the truth can be a lie and a lie can be a truth to you. But understand there's a lot of truth within the vessel and truth within the Bible. I'm just telling you, truth to be told, there's a lot of truth behind everything that I write, everything that I talk about. People don't want to hear the truth. All you gotta do is pay attention and listen to the words of truth. God has spoken. It's not like He just wrote it. A lot of people misinterpret His words. Understand, I ain't the perfect little guy or the perfect little saint. I'm just that little Christian that's trying to get it right. But we tend to put our faith in man instead of putting faith in God. With a forgiving God we serve, we gotta stand on His word. Truth to be told, we're chosen vessels. Gotta stand on His word. Gotta stand on his word. Cause I'm a chosen vessel, and I'm a child of God. So I gotta keep pressing, no need to keep stressing over the little bitty things that goes on in this world. What people do and they talk about, I'm one of God's vessels. Please, 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 please.
I'm a chosen vessel. Acts 9:15. The Lord said unto him, Go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me, to bear my name before the Gentiles and kings and the children of Israel. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. 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 I'm a chosen vessel. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a chosen vessel. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a chosen vessel. I'm a chosen vessel. Yeah, yeah. I'm a chosen vessel.
Yeah. Woo.
Rockets in the building.
Let's go. Vanity got you twisted in the mind. Got you going crazy cause you press for the fame. Got you forgetting who you are. What you stand for, you're a vessel for Christ. Yeah. I bet you didn't know. Vanity got you walking around, think you better than everyone. Up in the room, got your pride and conceited little ways taking over because you want the spotlight and the credit's on your name. No, Jesus deserves the credit on his name, so put credit on his name. We stand for something, y'all stand for something, you stand for something. You best to believe I ain't standing for vanity, and I ain't really pressed for the fame. Are you hearing me? But little do you know, vanity happens to be somebody's little secret and secret of sin. So I'm pressing forward and I'm looking forward, and I gotta keep pushing to God. Yeah, vanity got you twisted in the mind, got you going crazy cause you press for the fame. Got you forgetting who you are, what you stand for, you're a vessel for Christ. Vanity got you twisted in the mind, got you going crazy cause you press for the fame. Got you forgetting who you are, what you stand for, you're a vessel for Christ. I bet you people do things just to get your attention, but don't even mention. Understand I ain't rapping for fame, I ain't rapping for me, I ain't rapping for you, I'm rapping for one thing, and that's Jesus Christ, homie. See, I can teach you a lesson or two and be nice about it, and hopefully you get the picture and not the motion picture. But you need to make the right decision and make a difference in your life, and you can do the same rather than think about it twice. Cause Jesus paid the price for our sins and not vanity.
Yeah.
And not vanity. Not vanity.
The Bible says,
Not vanity.
let him not trust the vanity.
Vanity got you twisted in the mind,
Deceiving
got you
himself.
going crazy cause you press for the fame.
For he shall
Got you forgetting
recompose.
who you are, what you stand for, you're a vessel for Christ.
Job 15.
Vanity got you twisted in the mind,
31.
got you going crazy cause you press for the fame. Got you forgetting who you are,
Here we
what
go.
you stand for, you're a vessel for Christ.
Rockets in the building.
Yep. Are you hearing me? Yep. Are you feeling me? Yep. It's like you're selling your souls, committing these crimes, and then you really wanna drop a dime. Yeah, I call it stitches time. I call it saving a life with Jesus Christ, man. No need for money, man. Cash, frozen girls, man. My faith is all I need. My God is all I need. Your God is all you need. Understand, I don't need money or fame just to put me on top. God's grace and mercy shall always put me on top. Every time I touch base, I gotta win. With Jesus on my side, I gotta win. It's a blessing from above, a gift from my God. It's like a shooting star. I gotta win. All I do is I gotta win. Gotta win. Gotta win. All I gotta do is say. All I do is I gotta win. Gotta win. Gotta win. Don't let stupidity and evil things fool you. It's a conspiracy. Money comes, but money goes. The game in the streets will straight up fool you with materialistic things. The name brand, the Gucci and the Prada Crockers, Louis from the shiny wheels. $1 million houses. It's like a psychological thing, fascinating thing. Yeah, Christ wants you. I want you. God needs you. I need you. Things of this world will get you jacked up. Things in this world will get your mind twisted up. I need you. I want you. Let's do something, say something, let's do something, let's rock something. All I do is I gotta win. Gotta win.
Finish this show to just what he said. Find out who created you. We shared for a few seconds that if you got a nice car and you want to keep it nice, you might have been using Jack and Bubba and them back in the alley as your back alley mechanics, but they're making them now so that if you want to get your car right, you have to take it back to the one that made it. The Ford dealer gonna fix the Ford. The Lincoln Mercury gonna fix the Lincoln Mercury. And the one that created you can fix you. He can help you. He created you. He knows all about you. Psalms 39, I knew you before you were in your mother's womb. I formed you, created you. I knit you together. I know every intricate part that's in you. And I only can cause you to have the purpose that's inside of you because I know the plans that I have for you. And so first and foremost, give your life over to the one who is able, to the one who is truth, to the one who is the founder of everything, the heaven and earth, the creator of all creation. He loves you. He's a God that forgives, a God that endures, a God that stays. So we are encouraging you now to give all that you have, all your talents, and even I'm like he said, if you're a drug dealer, a drug addict, a drug whatever you're doing, there is a gift in you. You are a prince. You have purpose. You have potential. Pull those things out of those negative venues. Stop giving them to the God of this world. If you can add up $20 1,000 times a day, then you need a job being an accountant or something. And stop looking over your shoulder for who might be trying to take you out because you're not doing the right thing the right way. So we want to encourage you to be a servant to the one who loved us so much that he gave his only begotten son. Jesus Christ, he is Lord. The word is in you. You were created by word. and you need to go back and hear the voice that called your name. And you too can be like Brother Curtis Rock in the house on tour, talking about something, being about something, and doing something. And so I really want to thank him, and I want to thank his manager and everybody that had anything to do with him taking time out. We have a beautiful day. This is the day that the Lord has made. We rejoice and we are glad in it. Our God is great and greatly to be praised. But you need to know who you are and know whose you are, and stop bowing down to the God of the world who brings death and destruction. But give yourself over to the God who brings life and hope and peace and faith. Brother Curtis, I was this close to inviting you to my house for Thanksgiving dinner. Then I remembered you from Baltimore.
Oh my
The
gosh,
city
really?
of the Ravens. Who y'all know we got to come to Baltimore to beat up on some birds.
Oh my gosh.
So we was this close. I was just about to say, Brother Curtis, I need you to come to my house for Thanksgiving. Be my people, your people and my people will be one.
Did we play
Then
y'all?
I remembered.
We play y'all on Thanksgiving?
No, I don't think. I'm glad he don't know. I got some good friends in Baltimore, but more than that, I got some brothers and some sisters that serve the same God I serve. And I'm going to put you on that list.
Appreciate it.
You on the list with the family.
Appreciate
that
it.
just
Appreciate it.
lost a little bit on the football thing, but around the time of the table of Jesus, we can sit together. But I really do, again, want to thank you.
Yes,
we're going to have some of your work. By the time we get this all put together, you will be not just in word, but in word and in demonstration.
Yes,
so I
ma'am.
can't thank you enough for spending some time. It's a hot day.
Yeah, it is
We're
hot.
catching it, ain't we?
But God is sending a little breeze this way.
Did you feel that?
Yeah,
I
I felt
started to shout. We got a west wind. I
know, right?
Hallelujah. You know what? Everything belongs to God.
Yes,
we
ma'am.
thank God for the S-O-N, and we thank God for the S-U-N.
Yes,
Every
ma'am.
good and perfect gift. Thank you all so much for staying with us this day. We thank you for taking time out to share with Brother Curtis. He got something to say. Contact him on CurtisRockOnTour.com. 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 He got something to say. Invite him to come and be a blessing to your young people, to your church family, to your community, whatever you're doing. This young man got some positive energy, and he wants the place to sow it. So God bless you, and heaven smile upon you. And remember, he that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit is saying to the church. We'll see y'all again next week. Thank you for coming this way. God bless.